All right, hello students, and thank you for selecting this next Career Day interview. I am fortunate enough to be interviewing a few people for this Career Day interview, and they all represent Athens Generating. So we are going to go around, and if you could just introduce yourself and tell us what your job title is at Athens Gen. All right, John, I'm going to kick it to you first.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Jonathan True. I am the plant engineer at Athens Generating.
All right, Hank, what is it that you do?
Hi, good morning. My name's Hank Tripp. I'm the plant manager at Athens Generating.
Right, and Brittany?
Hi, my name's Brittany Williams. I'm the business manager at Athens.
And Chris?
Hey everyone, Chris Mitchell. I am one of the O&M managers here at Athens.
All right, thank you. And that's operations maintenance, right, Chris?
Correct, yep.
All right. Okay, thank you all so much for being here. I'm wondering, since you all have very different job titles, if you could kind of go around and let us know what steps you had to take to get to where you are now. John?
Well, for me, it kind of started middle and high school. I kind of always enjoyed the math and sciences topics. That kind of led into high school where I started taking more advanced engineering courses, like principles of engineering. I was always big into science, like I said. So that kind of carried over into high school. In high school, I kind of figured that, I liked engineering. This is probably what I want to do with my life. So I went to Clarkson University, which is a small engineering school in upstate New York. I did 4 years there, and I just graduated this past May with a mechanical engineering degree. And then I got a job at Athens, and I became the plant engineer.
Thank you, John. How about you, Hank?
Well, when I got out of high school, I joined the Navy. I joined nuclear Navy, and I was in the Navy for 8 years. While I was in the Navy, I went to school at RPI and Thomas Edison State College and got a engineering degree. And I got out of the Navy, and I was really fortunate. I received a position here at Athens, and just kind of worked my way through the system. Ended up getting a graduate degree, and just kind of moved up and given opportunities, and now lucky to have the opportunity to be plant manager.
Thank you. How about you, Brittany?
I had a bit of a weird start, I guess. So I actually went to undergrad for psychology and got really involved in the industrial psychology program there. And from there, I kind of realized I enjoyed numbers more. So after undergrad, I actually went to graduate school for my MBA. And then following that, I actually got a contract with the Department of Defense doing accounting for them. And that just kind of led me to here.
Yeah, that's a cool, those steps definitely aren't the norm, but that's pretty awesome. How about you?
So my story starts, I grew up in Maine, a little small town in central Maine. Graduated high school. Always, like John said, I always had an interest in science and math. It always kind of drew me in. So after high school, I went to a very, very small college in Castine, Maine, Maine Maritime Academy. I went there for power engineering, graduated in 2009 with a bachelor's in power engineering, and was fortunate enough to get a job at Athens in '09. Worked as an operator, and like Hank, I worked my way up through the system, through the control room, and now I have the opportunity to be one of the operations and maintenance managers here.
Thank you. All right, so now that we know a little bit about what you do and how you got there, if you could walk us through what's a typical day for you in your job, John?
For me, I mean, kind of my general job duties are primarily like monitoring the electrical testing that we have at the plant. So we have relay testing, we have just general electrical maintenance, kind of scheduling that testing, making sure it's done on time. There's also a cybersecurity aspect of it. So we work at a power plant. It is a sensitive cybersecurity area in some regards. So whenever anybody brings like a USB drive or a laptop and they're going to be doing electrical testing, we got to make sure that's scanned and there's no malware found on that device. I also monitor the performance of the units. So there's this thing called heat rate, which basically measures the performance of the unit, basically how much energy you're getting out of the gas turbine versus how much gas you're putting in. So that's a big metric I look at when I'm monitoring performance. And then also walk downs in the plant. So I do a lot of walk downs, see how the guys are doing out in the plant. If I have any projects going on, I'll check on how the status of the project and how it's progressing on the plant.
Thank you, John. How about you, Hank?
Well, a typical day starts about 7:30 in the morning. We have morning meeting where we go through and discuss the day's activities and anything that happened over the past week or so, if there are any open items. From there, break out different work centers. I go usually to my office for a bit, check emails, try and get a walk around the plant, depending on what we have going on, depending on what contractors are here or jobs. We attend a pre-job brief or attend the job site just to really look over what's going on, what safety hazards are present, and just making sure that everyone out in the plant is working safe. Back in the office, I kind of look at it as really almost three groups of bosses, which is one, the owners of the plant, the company that hires us to run the plant, and then the people at the plant, people including our employees and the contractors that work here. So my primary job is to answer questions, do reports, and make sure that everyone has the tools they need to do their job successfully. So that's kind of general, but that's really where I sit today.
Sorry, no, I think that gives folks a good idea of what to expect. How about you, Brittany?
So my day-to-day kind of depends on what time of the month it is. So for me with accounting, we have a business close. Usually it's between 5 and 7 business days. I try to get all my journal entries in. So at the beginning of the month, I spend a lot of time working on journal entries and getting that kind of stuff together. Once that's done, I start putting together the report for the owners, the financial reports. Usually about the second week of the month is when our reports for, we call our draw, it's our payments to our vendors. So I have to put that together. Then probably like the third week of the month is usually my reforecasting budget type things. And then the last week of the month is preparing pretty much to do it all over again and restart my journal entries.
Sounds like you probably have to be pretty organized and good at time management. Everything's really on a tight schedule. Thank you, Brittany. How about you, Chris?
My schedule is very similar to Hank's. It starts 7:30 in the morning with our morning meeting with all of our employees here. After that, break out into the smaller groups. I usually have a meeting with my maintenance staff that works underneath me. I have 8 guys that directly report to me. So getting a work schedule and work tasks that we're going to accomplish that day and kind of setting the priorities of what we're going to get done. And then from there, it all depends on what's going on. We could be in an outage, which we are right now. We're in a Unit 3 outage right now. So focus a lot of time on that, making sure the contractors have what they need and need to be successful. And then if anything else is going to come up, if any of the other units are going to start, making sure the units are available and ready to go if they are dispatched. So in the office, kind of like what Hank said, a lot of reporting and recording of data, and making sure the owners have what they need, and answer any requests that they have.
Thank you. All right, so kind of a fun question, and that's, what do you love most about your job? So what's your favorite part about your job? And I'll start with you, John.
So my favorite part is I definitely like just walking around in the plant. So as an engineer, you kind of read all these textbooks and stuff about these engineering principles, all these devices. And for me, it is kind of boring reading textbooks, looking at all that stuff. For me, I find a lot of enjoyment just walking out in the plant and seeing these systems in real life, and see how they operate in real life. So that's a pretty simple answer, but.
No, the hands-on aspect of your job, it sounds interesting. Yeah. How about you, Hank?
I enjoy most that every single day offers a unique challenge, and I can say that I've been here 16 years, and every day that I've come to work, I've learned something new, either about the plant or a process or a better way to do things. So for me, it's a continuous learning process, and I really enjoy that.
You're a problem solver.
I would say that's correct. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Brittany? What do you love most about your job?
And numbers person. So I like being able to create different spreadsheets that help the plant function better, and I like to help people here, I guess, learn how to use those spreadsheets better. So that I find it fun.
Thank you. I'm like that too. Organization makes me happy. All right. How about you, Chris?
Very similar to Hank. How dynamic this place is. You can walk in with a plan in the morning of what you want to accomplish, and 10 minutes into the morning meeting, you realize that none of that is going to get accomplished, and you have to go figure out these other problems that are coming up. So problem solving is fun, and then the other aspect that I really enjoy is training other people. We have a lot of newer people here that just have been hired on in the last couple of years. So training those guys training those guys with the knowledge that I picked up over the years. So that's another fun part.
Thank you. My next question is related to skills. So, folks watching this video might be picturing themselves in a career such as yours, and I'm wondering if you could touch upon the skills that you feel are most important to make you really, truly successful at what you do. So those could be some soft skills or more trainable skills, but really what most resonate with you as the important skills needed for your job. John?
I would say definitely the top two soft skills required are communication and teamwork. I would not be able to do my job if I wouldn't be able to effectively communicate or work as a team. As far as hard skills, like Brittany, I deal a lot with numbers, like performance metrics and stuff. So math is definitely a strong hard skill for me that I would need to have to do well. So communication, teamwork, and math, I would say, are what I need.
Thank you. How about you, Hank?
Well, in terms of I guess soft skills, really, I got maybe a skill or a trait is really just persistence. Being very persistent about wanting to understand a system, problem, question, whatever it is. It's very important to clearly understand what you're dealing with. And we've talked about internally here what we call first principles of a problem, like what makes up the problem, and then base a decision or base a direction on that. So to do that, you have to have a very high degree of persistence. And it's probably one of the number one traits I think you have to be in this type of field. In terms of trainable skills, communication, but communication orally, but really written communication through, we use a tremendous amount of email, tremendous amount of reporting in say like Word documents and stuff like that. And to be the English skills that you learn in high school, and if you go to college, it's even worth taking a class like that again, because those English skills are very, very important. They give a kind of you see it and you really it's a representation of you, whether it's good or bad. But those English skills, learning proper grammar, and understanding how to use language is very, very important. In terms of computer skills, right now we use a lot of Excel and being able to type. It's amazing. I see some people just don't know how to type without looking at the keyboard. I really, if you have opportunity to take a keyboarding, a typing class of some sort like that, word processing, whatever it is, I would take that and make sure that you can type without looking at the keyboard. I think that's important. It's important here. And learning Excel, like Brittany has taught us here in the office over the past couple of years, a tremendous amount about Excel. You think you know about Excel, but there's so many tools there with Excel that while you have the time in high school, if those kind of classes are offered, or even watching some videos, that's really, really important to know Excel and know all the tools that are available there.
Okay, Brittany, on to you. What would you say are the skills most important for your job?
I would say it's definitely important to have some communication skills. I talk a lot with our owners about different financial things, and you need to be able to explain to them, what you're doing and how you're doing it, and then they'll explain to you what they're looking for, and you gotta find the middle ground there. And then, as previously said before, Excel is it's a learnable skill, but I would strongly advise anybody who can to take Excel classes. In my school, when I went to college out in Buffalo, they made you take an Excel class for a whole semester. And when I was taking it, I thought, oh, why am I doing this? I'm never going to need this. But afterwards, I actually use it so much, and I tell everyone it's such an important thing to learn, because I feel like any job could benefit from having that skill, any position. And then the other thing I would say, which is a learnable skill, would just be your accounting principles. So that you could just go to school for and follow those.
Thank you, Brittany. How about you, Chris?
So I'm going to sound,
I think this is the trouble with the same room. Maybe if your sound is on, Hank, that's causing the echo probably.
Right.
You got to.
There's going to be a couple clicks in between each question, but
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're ready now.
All right. All right, Chris, how about the skills that are most important in your job?
So I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but definitely communication skills. I have a lot of reports underneath me that need to know what they need to do every day. And like I said earlier, I set that priority of what we need to accomplish. So that's a huge one. Staying flexible. Like I said, my plans change 15 to 20 times a day. So staying flexible and be able to move quickly when you need to. And then, like we talked about earlier, problem solving. When we go to start up one of these units, there's 1,000 things that need to go right for this unit to come online and start producing power. And it doesn't happen every single time. One little thing goes wrong. So, I get phone calls at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I have to troubleshoot the plant through the cell phone and have the guys explain to me what's going on. So problem solving for me is a huge one that I'm still learning how to do that. It's a never ending learning process with that. So that's what I have.
Wow. So got to be ready to think on your toes, definitely.
Yes.
All right. So, Chris, and just to follow up with you again, I'm wondering if you could comment on the overall work environment of Athens Generating.
So the overall work environment, the biggest priority here, and actually, I don't know if you guys can see this over here. I'm swapping hands back and forth. The core values, we have a core values thing up behind me here. The number one core value for us is safety. We have to do the job safely. We have safety meetings before every big job, and then we have toolbox talks before every little job. We have safety talks in the morning. We have, we do this thing called Safe Start, where it's a concept of checking yourself, making sure you're not in these 4 states that could cause you to get injured. So safety is number one. That is the biggest work environment. If we can't do the job safely, we just won't do it here. Other than that, it is staying in compliance. We have a lot of agencies that are looking at this as far as air or water or any soil impact or anything like that. So staying in compliance and then staying reliable. We try to engineer out or eliminate anything that's going to cause us to have a forced outage or a unplanned outage. So we attack any types of small issues before they become and grow and make huge issues out of small stuff. So I think that's all I had.
All right, thank you. So my next question is for Hank, and I'm wondering what are the salary ranges for various levels or various job titles there at Athens Gen, and would you say that there are opportunities for advancement, whether that be in salary or even position?
Yeah, so the entry level positions are probably in the $50,000-$60,000 range, and then there's many operators, and as you advance through management, you're into the 6-figure range and above. So this isn't multi 6-figure positions here at Athens, but you're into 6-figure salaries. So in terms of advancement, so for me, just kind of personal story, I came in as an outside operator, out of the Navy, and then I got a position as a INC tech, and then a control room operator, then plant engineer, and then this position. So it again just comes down to working hard, your interaction with people, and some luck, and just taking advantage of the opportunities that are given. So yes, there's definitely opportunity for advancement inside the plant. Once you, the company that we work for is a very large corporation. There's advancement on a corporate level in different positions once you become have a system matter expert in something, and something opens up, especially environmentally. There's a lot of opportunity there, and NERC. I mean, there's just endless opportunities, but it really comes down to how hard you want to work and what you want to take advantage of.
Thank you. My final question, and John, I'll direct this to you. I'm wondering if there were classes in middle school or high school even. It sounds like your love and your kind of your path toward engineering started with some math and science. Were there specific classes that you took that relate to your job now?
Definitely a lot of math. Math is critical for all the basic engineering stuff that you're going to do. So definitely like your algebra, your calculus, your trigonometry, even a little geometry is helpful. And then your basic sciences too. So chemistry is very important. I would also say physics is pretty much critical for engineering. And then if there's any like specific engineering classes that your high school would offer. I know I took in Caro before I graduated, I took Principles of Engineering, and then there was also a class offered called Civil Engineering and Architecture. And so I took both of those, and that's what actually really got me into engineering to begin with. But yeah, as many math classes as you can take, and definitely the engineering specific classes are all very helpful for engineering.
Thank you, John. And I appreciate that all of you kind of contributed to that question in your own way. I think that it's hard sometimes when you're in school to see how you're going to utilize the skills that you're, learning in English class, whether it be grammar or, in a keyboarding class. But much of it will relate to almost any job in this day and age. So I appreciate you touching upon that. And I think it's helpful for students to know. And I just truly want to thank you all for your time. You sound like very busy people with very important jobs, and we appreciate you giving your time to these students for this career day at Greenville School.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity.